did that without warming up. This is because I don't necessarily believe that you need to warm up to scream in a traditional sense, like you need to get the blood flowing and stretching. But I do think that in the beginning stages of learning gutturals, when you're trying to learn how to do this style, it can be helpful to do certain exercises to help remind you of some of the fundamentals, to calibrate your voice so you can hop into the scream quicker. And once you get the fundamentals deep into your muscle memory, after about doing 30 days of this, then you won't need to rely on it anymore. And you can jump into it kind of cold, just like how I did. So if you want to train the fundamentals and make finding your low gutturals easier, I'm going to show you 5 calibration exercises. So number 1, a warm-up to locate your false chords. So for this video, to do a guttural, I am using my false chords, and I am creating a hybrid scream that uses a lot of false chord distortion. And one of the most common problems with false chord screams and getting your false chords to distort is that many people think that they are using their false chords when in reality, they are using other tissues to create different types of sounds. So they're confused. They think they're doing one thing, but they're not. So that's why it's important for us to really know where our false chords are so that when we're screaming, we know for a fact that those sounds are coming from our false chords. So the exercise that I want you to do is this. I want you to make a buzzing sound, kind of like a alarm is going off. And it should sound kind of like Mongolian throat singing. And so I want you to do this with me, and I want you to do 10 of these with the E vowel. Repeat with me. Let's go. Awesome. And if you feel discomfort while doing this, that's okay. That means that you need to adjust your tightness until it no longer feels uncomfortable. And while you're doing this, you also don't want it to sound breathy and airy. You want it instead to sound very present and full. Instead of Okay, so now let's do 10 of these with the E vowel. Now let's do 10 with the A vowel. Now 10 with the vowel. Now 10 with the O vowel. Now, many people can activate their false chords, but they tend to lose it once they start saying words. So we want to make sure that you can still keep these tissues engaged while you're saying simple things. So now what I want you to do is hold that buzzery sound while you say A, B, C, D, E, F, G 5 times. So for example, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 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 A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And by the way, if this or any of the exercises in this video are difficult or you want to go deeper into learning to scream, I made a free video you can get by clicking the link in the description, which will go over the anatomy of how to scream, as well as different approaches. It'll also show you how to get in contact with me if you're interested in getting more personal feedback about your screams. All of this is free. Click the link in the description if you're interested. Okay, let's move on to the next warm-up. Warm-up number 2. So a lot of people can isolate their false chords, but they run out of air when they're false chord screaming. And this happens because people put the vibrations of their scream in their throat down too low. And when it's put down here, it's hard to close your false chords. And when it's hard to close your false chords and you're open, all of your air falls through. So the way around this is that we have to place the vibrations in the nasal area. This is because it's easier to close your false chords together up here. And as a bonus, you'll get more distortion if you do it right. So what I want you to do is I want you to try to get the vibrations in your nose and make a very nasal E vowel. And it should sound as annoying as possible. And I want you to do this clean. Let's do 10. Okay, now let's do eh. Now remember, the entire time we don't want to lose that nasal, bright, annoying sound. Let's do ah. Not but ah. Now let's do 10 with the vowel. Now o. Now hold that nasal clean sound while you say A, B, C, D, E, F, G 5 times. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. 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 Okay, now let's move on to the third exercise. And this is where we start training you to get a little lower. So a lot of people can get a false chord scream by doing the steps above, but they struggle to go low. This is because there's now too little space in your throat to make a cavernous sound while you're making this sort of noise. So one way to make it more cavernous and low is to lower your Adam's apple, also known as your larynx. So one way to do that is act like you're creating a really dopey sound. If you're familiar with SpongeBob SquarePants, then think Patrick from SpongeBob, where he goes, SpongeBob. And if you do it right, you'll feel your Adam's apple move down and the back of your throat open up. So instead of SpongeBob, it's SpongeBob. And this opening up is you creating more resonant space in your throat. So I want you to start with your Adam's apple raised and lower it using 10 yawns, using the E vowel. So I want you to go E. And I want you to do this 10 times. And this might be tricky at first, but remember, the goal is to make sure that you have more of a command of the ability to do this. So this might be tricky at first, but this will get easier. So E, 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 E. This is tricky. So as a reminder, if you need more in-depth help, there is that video I made that goes deeper into learning how to do these screams and the ability to reach out to me to get personal feedback. Click the link in the description to get both of these things for free. So the next warm-up will start to get your tone to sound a little bit more demonic. So to make the tone more demonic, you want to make it so that you can create multiple different voices at the same time coming from one person. And I know that sounds pretty crazy, but we can kind of get this effect by splitting our airflow in half using our tongue. And one tongue shape that allows us to do this is to bridge your tongue forward and have the tip of your tongue right behind the bottom front row of your teeth. So for this exercise, I want you to hold a clean singing note out and play around with this tongue position until you start hearing the sound split off into 2 different tones. And once you find the tone, then I want you to mentally save your vocal settings, stop the sound right there, and start again, straight getting into that dual tone sound. And do it 10 times like this. Okay, great job. So for this last exercise, we want to train you to remember that mouth shape also plays a role in getting you low. And part of getting low is about eliminating higher frequencies and allowing lower bass frequencies to be louder. And we can muffle our tone with the help of our lips. So instead of using a wide open mouth, we want to shrink our mouth size to muffle a lot of the higher frequencies. Can you hear how that's more of a muffled tone, ooh, compared to ah? So I want you to go from ah to ooh 10 times. Ow, 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 ow. So if your goal is to train by yourself and unlock these gutturals, I would recommend doing these exercises every day for at least 30 days until these individual components become muscle memory. It's very easy to do some of these, but forget just 1 or 2 of them. And if you forget any component of this, then the entire guttural falls apart. That's why it's important to keep drilling them. Once you can combine them, you can get a nasty sound like this. And once again, if you need deeper help, remember to check out that free video training that goes a little deeper and gives you the ability to reach out for personal help. All of that's for free. Just click the link in the description. Okay, so now you know the building blocks of how to do gutturals. What if you want to learn how to do fry screams? If that sounds like you, then click the video here to learn how.